In fact, we are now being told that we have an exclusive interaction with the management of Nestle. You never get to see them. The stock is at an all-time high. Let's listen in.
It was a pleasure listening to you in the session that just took place. So we have been witnessing a time where there is a slowdown in the market. Demand is low, consumption has come down. How have things been for Nestle?
Well, honestly, I can't comment about what our results are likely to be. All I can say is that, yes, in terms of the numbers, certainly, as put out by Nielsen, there has been a slowdown in the overall market. The rural growths being a lot more pronounced in terms of the coming down. But I would still reiterate what I have been saying for a while now, that from a growth rate of 10 to 12%, if you are down to a 9 to 10%, it doesn't mean that the world has come to an end. And I think that it is possible that with the steps that the government has taken and is taking now, I mean, the latest one that came out last night was the 5% increase in DA for government employees. Now, all that also will spur consumption to whatever extent, and because there are a number of employees who are involved there, it can have a positive impact. Plus also the improved investment climate that is being created as a result of the signals on corporate taxes. I'm still reasonably hopeful that in the next couple of quarters we will start bouncing back to the growth levels that we have seen. And I would not really despair, and I continue to maintain this stand of mine, that we should not be despairing that it has come down by a few percentage points.
So that's your outlook for the FMCG yes. sector as a whole in the near future?
That's right. That is my, I can only talk about the FMCG sector because I don't have knowledge about the other sectors. I think other sectors have their own endemic issues, and they have both structural and tactical issues that they face. So there is a different set prescriptions that will apply to them. But certainly for the FMCG, the consumer goods space, I would think that we might have a little bit of turbulence, but that doesn't mean that the aircraft won't land safely. It'll do what it has to do.
Sure, sir. And we are in the middle of the festival season. Yeah. This is the time when demand is at its peak generally. So how have things been this year? Do you think the environment, the demand is lukewarm as compared to previous years?
It has been a mixed bag. I mean, let us say, for example, in the smaller towns, there is a positivity on the festivals. I have not seen in my own market visits any dramatic changes, at least as far as the consumer goods sector is concerned. There have been, of course, reports in some other sectors that the buying patterns have been much more muted. But certainly in the consumer goods space, it has been by and large on an even keel.
Another important observation, another important, fact that came out, starkly in last few days is that while we complain of a slowdown in retail sector, on online selling platforms like Flipkart, Amazon, they have registered record sales. What does it say about consumer behavior? Has spending capacity actually come down, or something else is the cause of all of this?
That's why I said that, there could be some issues in particular channels, but that doesn't mean that the overall consumption space is doom and gloom. You're right, and I've also read reports about the $3 billion sales that have been achieved by some of the major e-commerce players. Now, it is fair that your generation, the millennial generation, is having a greater propensity to buy on e-commerce for a variety of reasons, both the prices and also the convenience, etc., assortment and various other things. So we will see this shift over a period of time, and I think therefore we need to see things in aggregation and not just say that there has been a slowdown in a particular geography or in a particular channel and paint that same brush for the rest of the consumption space. So I would still be reasonably optimistic. We can have our bumps, but I think overall all is not lost.
So what's Nestle's plan? What does Nestle have in store for the consumers when it comes to the festival season?
I just want to keep you and see you smiling and happy. And therefore, I will continue on this journey with my colleagues and with my partners of ensuring that we continuously innovate, we continuously offer new and exciting products from the stable of Nestle, and hopefully we keep enjoying your trust and your confidence in the coming months and years.
Any new product in pipeline?
Well, you'll see it as it evolves. But as I told you, our task is to be as innovative as possible, as close to your heart as possible, as trustworthy as possible. And I think as a result of all of this, if you are able to steer the course, I would be quite happy.
My last question before I let you go. So government has taken a series of measures, as you mentioned before. Have this already started showing impact? And what more do you expect the government to do when it comes to boosting the economy?
Look, I think the overall, the impact has been on the kind of outlook on corporate earnings because of the corporate tax. So I think that will play itself out. It will not immediately happen, but once they post earnings, which is already started, I think there would be an effect in terms of better dividends, and therefore part of that being put back into consumption. I think some of the other steps being taken on the DA changes, for example, that would be also be salutary and.
Well, that's a very rare management, the management of Nestle, speaking exclusively to ET now on the sidelines of an event. And he says that there is no gloom and doom scenario when it comes to FMCG. He does not see any despair at all, very optimistic about the festive season as well. And he says he hasn't seen any dramatic changes in demand in consumer goods space. A slight blip is not something to worry about, he says, talking to my colleague Parisha Tyagi.